Okay, so welcome back. We're going to start the meeting. It's being streamed on YouTube, but I want to start the meeting with the public portion. Right, the public hearing. There's a public hearing first. I'm so sorry. It's the BSNA calendar, 2052 63rd Street. Is there anybody here that wants to talk about that? The applicant seeks a special permit to enlarge an existing single-family home contrary to the side yard requirements. And the applicant would like to say something.
Okay, hi. One is, thank you so much. I haven't seen real faces in a long time, so I really appreciate you having me here tonight. So we're doing a 73-622 special permit, and we're only here because we have a pre-existing 3-foot side yard, and in order to build the house straight up, we would have to come in front of the Board of Standards and Appeals and come before your community board in order to get to keep that 3-foot side yard when we build. And we're building one floor. It's already 2 floors. We're building a 3rd floor, and we're converting it from a 2-family home to a 1-family home, and everything else will be as of right. So nothing else is a special permit, just the already existing 3-foot side yard. We'd like to maintain that. So I hope that helps.
Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to speak on this? Not board members, because board members get to speak during the meeting. Okay, so hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. Eileen, seconded by Sal, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. So we do start with the pledge. So we do have the new deputy inspector of our precinct. So he's going to lead us in a pledge. I think it's behind me, right? Yeah. To the flag of the United States of America. Okay. So as again, like I said to start with, it's good to see real faces. And see what we really look like, how fat we got or how thin we got. And the only thing is a lot of smiles because it's nice to be human again. I do want to say that the way the community board works is that the public gets to bring issues up first. The board does not speak. And then when we open the board meeting, the public doesn't speak, even though you want to get involved and say, oh, this is a great topic. It's a board meeting, so I will not acknowledge anybody from the public. So even though you're raising your hand, I'm not being rude. You just don't, not your time. So I'm going to open the public portion. So anybody here from the public that wants to speak? Yeah, it's your time.
Good evening, everyone. Frank Fontana from the Department of Buildings. So it's nice to see everybody face in person now. It's been a few years. I'm sorry, over 2 years. So just a couple of announcements from the Buildings Department. I'm the liaison. I cover Community Boards 10 and 11 in Brooklyn. And then we have a couple of announcements with the Buildings Department. First, we have a new commissioner, Eric Ulrich. He was a former Queens Council member. He's now, Mayor has appointed him to the Buildings Commissioner, along with Kaz, which was a former Brooklyn Borough Commissioner, is now his first deputy. So the mayor has been committed to improving the services, customer service, within the Buildings Department and throughout the agencies, implementing more technology. So Eric's focused on that, and he's working, with the first deputy and internally within the mayor's office and the agency to improve the customer service, improve the processes, and get the Buildings Department ready for the future as we continue to grow in the city. A couple of announcements I do want to make, and I have mentioned them before in the live stream meetings. First off is let me just put this down for a second, I'm sorry. Local Law 152, you may have heard of it. I do have some flyers here, you could take them. Local Law 152 pertains to any periodic gas inspection. So if you own a 1- or 2-family house in the community board, you are exempt. Any property except the 1- or 2-family house is required to hire licensed plumbers specifically for local law 152 inspections. What is required that they have to check your gas lines in the common areas of the property, basements, hallways, submit that report to the Department of Buildings every 5 years. It's broken down by community boards. So starting January 1st, 2023, you have 1 year to hire a licensed plumber, inspect your property, and then submit that report to the buildings department. After that year, it'll cycle over back to community boards 1, 3, and 10, and then so forth. So the next period from there will be 2026. So now this is ongoing. This is due to a gas explosion that happened in around 2013 or 2014 in the Lower East Side. So the buildings department is now enforcing this law. So again, you have to hire a licensed plumber specifically for local law 152, so they check those gas inspections. It's a little different from National Grid, where they have a law that they have to check just the meters itself. This is actually checking the internal plumbing in the property. The homeowners relief program was something created on the Mayor de Blasio. Homeowners relief program now pertains to 1 and 2 family homes. So instead of if you receive a 301 complaint on your property and you get a violation, now under this program, there are some exceptions. Instead of getting a violation with penalties, we issue a request for corrective action, which is basically a warning letter. So you have 60 days to correct the condition. If you don't, you get a violation. That comes with penalties afterward. So it's a little relief for the property owners. There are some exceptions, like if there's a legal conversion, or if you have received a violation the past 5 years, you won't qualify. So if you're not sure, you can always check up the property profile in the BIS system to see if it'll be marked there if you're eligible or not. So it only pertains to 1 and 2 family homes. And then lastly is some of you may remember customer service night. It's now been labeled buildings after hours. So every Tuesday night from 4 to 7, buildings offices are open. 210 Geralman Street, you can visit the office if you have any questions about permits, processes. You're looking at property records, you can come down to the buildings department, no appointment needed, from 4 to 7 every Tuesday. I have some flyers here, so if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So as we start to move, let's just hope as the meeting carries on that I'm glad to see so many people from the public, but I'm sort of disappointed that my own people didn't show up, which means at this point we do not have a quorum, which means we can't take up any official business. So unless some more people walk through that door before I'm done, there'll be another meeting to just cover all the votes we have to take, including passing the minutes, which is unfortunate. I think people have gotten just too used to being on Zoom. So right now, for whatever purposes, this is an informational meeting. There will be minutes of this, but it'll be an addendum. The public hearing is good, but we need to add these minutes to the minutes that we will be able to take a vote. So let's just hope that when we do the Zoom, there's enough people on that. I'm sure there will be, because we never had a problem during the pandemic. So I'm going to ask the folks from National Grid, Mr. Brian Grimaldi, who's going to make a presentation for us. And he has a whole gang with him, so if they just stand and take a wave.
That's great. Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it. Evening, everybody. I'm here. My name is Brian Grimaldi. I'm the Vice President of Corporate Affairs for National Grid. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the state's climate plan and what it means for homeowners and businesses as the state progresses through its regulatory process. So just by show of hands, how many people in the room have heard about the Climate Action Council? You guys work for me, that doesn't count. Okay, so the Climate Action Council is a body of 22 folks that were appointed by the legislature and the governor's office to come up with what the state's climate plan is going to be. What types of technologies you're going to use, what you're going to be required to use in your home, what appliances you're going to be required to use. And at the moment, it published a draft scoping plan at the beginning of the year, and they're taking public comments on it. And National Grid has commented on it because a lot of the plan is heavily focused on electrification, meaning that they want the electrification of heat in buildings up and down the state. And as you know, downstate, National Grid's a gas company. We are an electric company upstate, and we do a lot of business in different places throughout the world. We're the largest electric provider in the UK. But here in the state, we believe that the right mix is a hybrid approach that includes gas in some places and electricity in others, and network geothermal and some wind and solar. We're making huge investments in wind and solar. We're making huge investments in hydrogen and something called renewable natural gas, which comes from food stock and food waste. And we're working with the state on the climate plan to get some reasonable comments in. But as it stands now, the final plan will be determined at the end of the year, and it's got things in it now like gas bans, elimination of gas appliances. So if your gas stove or your gas dryer dies after 2030, the state is telling you can't replace it. It has to be replaced with an electric unit. If your heating system fails after 2030, the state is looking to have you replace it with an electric heating unit. And retrofitting a home that currently has gas is quite expensive to retrofit for electricity. So, and there's a large percentage of the building stock. We did a study with Con Edison and the Mayor's Office of Climate Change to understand that about 70% of the building stock in the city of New York can't be electrified. So this isn't a commercial for natural gas. This is a commercial for learning more about what the state is doing on climate. I have to thank the Assemblyman for being a reasonable voice in Albany on this and working with us in advancing. Oh, sure. And advancing reasonable climate policy. We're working with the governor's office, and we're hoping that by the time the plan is finalized at the end of the year, that it's got a more reasonable, pragmatic approach. For those of you who are gas and electric customers, you may have noticed that your electric bill is higher than your gas bill. And since the state took Indian Point offline, now that we lost 25% of the clean energy coming to the city of New York, so the generation of electricity in the state is done by the burning of natural gas. To mitigate the natural gas issue, National Grid in April issued our fossil fuel-free pledge, which by 2050 we are going to transition off of natural gas in favor of renewable natural gas and hydrogen. And we're building those technologies out now. So I won't bore you on the technicalities of the details. I did leave some information here for you to take away. There's a packet that explains what the Climate Action Council is, what the process is, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and what you can learn about it. There are also some resources in here, National Grid's official response to it, as well as a website that you can go to that all the utilities in the state populated with information about what's being debated in the plan, who's for it, who's against it. I would just urge you to learn a little bit more, and to the extent there are things in it that you disagree with, please speak to your elected representatives. So, thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much. See, he got the drill. Nice, short and sweet, Board 11 type of way. Okay, is there anybody else from the public that needs, yep.
My name is Susan Zhuang. I'm from Assemblyman William Colton's office. Some people here know me because I was his chief staff 4 years ago. Now I finished my MBA. I did whatever I want to do. Now I'm come back. Today, I want to share some information with you guys. We are currently fighting for the school budget cut for New York City public schools because New York City Council voted resolution, but it's not binding with city mayor. So that's not part of budget yet. So we're still pushing and hope people in our community able to sign our petition. We have this petition online also. I will leave the petition here. Later on, if you guys interested, you can take a look and sign it. And also, I have another news to share with everyone. Most of people know we are fighting against the home shelter in our community here. We are successful for this fight. They said, the city said they will not, no more home shelter for Benson Bass Avenue. But there's another one still going on. It's 137 Kings Highway, which next to our office. We'll have a Zoom meeting on September 22nd. If anyone interested, we have the Zoom meeting link and the password. You guys can log in. I will put this information here also. You guys can take home. Hopefully, you guys can join us for the meeting. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Yes and yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is William Vitale. I'm a member of CERT, Community Emergency Response Team. First of all, we're now back after the pandemic. A lot of our members are starting to come out for different activities. But what I wanted to mention is September is 9/11. There will be a memorial at the 69th Street Pier starting at 7 o'clock. Hope you all can join us at the pier for the annual memorial. Thank you very much.
We just take the mic from him.
Hello, my name is Brian. I'm from Councilmember Alexa Aviles' office. I cover CV11. This is actually my first in-person community board meeting, so I'm very excited. And in true CV11 fashion, I'll keep this short and sweet. This Saturday in Sunset Park, we have a Mid-Autumn Festival event. Starts at 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you want to stop by in Sunset Park, there will be food, games, all the usual. You're welcome to stop by. September 17th, we have a Recycle E-Waste event on 6th Avenue, 44th Street. Stop by if you have old phones you want to get rid of, old computers, and we can recycle them. And finally, September 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m., we have an open house at our office. Our office is at 4417 4th Avenue. You can come by, talk to the council member, talk about any issues you have, or talk about anything you're curious about. And that's pretty much it. If you have any sort of constituent concerns, come to me, and thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Okay, anybody else in the public?
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and hope everyone enjoyed their summer. I just wanted to introduce myself in person. We've met via Zoom. My name is Nancy Lulu. I'm from the Brooklyn DA's office, from the Office of Public Engagement. I am the point of contact for CB11, so if there's any issues or matters you would like to talk to me about, I could give you my business card. You could feel free to email me. Also, I want to extend greetings on behalf of DA Gonzalez to everyone here. And also at the DA's office, we do have an action center. So if there's any matter, issue, or complaints that you would like to address with us for us to look into, you could call the action center at 718-250-2340, and you could feel free to grab one of those on your way out. But it's really great to be here. Our office has been extremely busy over the summer, and I'll leave some business cards here. And I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Arthur Diagata, and I live with my family on Cropsey Avenue, my wife and my 5 children. I just wanted to bring up some safety issues in the neighborhood. I grew up in the neighborhood. I'm 50 years old. I moved away for a little while. I moved back with my family. We bought a house. And there's just some things going on in the neighborhood. I'm sure you're aware of some robberies, some drugs, things like that. I walked into the meeting 5 minutes late. I live on Bay 13th Street. Every night there's a car parked on any hydrant that you would look at, and there's some people in it doing some drugs, getting high, and then pulling away. I have no idea where they're going. Absolutely. No problem. No problem. There's motor scooters on the sidewalks going down the wrong side of the streets. They're going on the sidewalks. My kids go outside to do a little sidewalk chalk or to toss the ball to each other. And there's scooters. There's student drivers that are 7 on a block at a time, making U-turns, making K-turns, going in and out of people's driveway. I mean, there's just so many things going on. It's quality of life. There's speakers going on. There's the cars that have those ridiculous mufflers that they make on purpose. I mean, we have to start doing something. I mean, I moved back in the neighborhood. It's the place that I love. It's the place that I grew up, and I want it to be like it was. And Cropsey Avenue should have a no tractor trailer, no commercial, but they're always going down there. They're hitting the potholes. It's not the truck route. It is not the truck route. 86th Street is the truck route. okay? 18th Avenue, they must come down Cropsey from Bay Parkway and they turn on 18th Avenue. They should not go 17th, 16th. They should not go down to 14th Avenue or Bay 8th Street to get on the high. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the time.
Trucks come down my block because they go to Seatown.
Do you have 5 children? That gets...
Well, I'm a child now because I'm old.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And yes, it's part of the agenda that I think the city's got to get involved in. Anybody else in the public? Okay, so hearing, yeah, okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. You know I hate doing this. My name is Tammy John. I'm the branch manager for the Newchik Library that's located at 1743 86th Street. Forgetting where I actually work at, my goodness. But it's great to be here. It is so wonderful to see everyone in person. I've been attending just about every Zoom session, and that was great. But it's wonderful being able to see everybody in person, even with the masks on, like I'm still wearing mine. Even with our masks on, it's great to be in person. Basically, just want to let everybody know the library's open. Newchik Library, BPL, we're open, we're open, we are open. We have in-house programs. We still have virtual programming. On October 1st, with the help of my friend's president over here, Sonia Valentin, we are doing a flea market, white elephant, sidewalk sale. And we do encourage everyone to come out to help us. We are raising funds for the library. We're raising funds for programs. We're raising funds to make sure we continue getting back to doing what we do best, programs. So we have our children's programs. We have our adult programs. Today we started our first movie program since we closed down. We had West Side Story, and we had quite a little bit of an audience. Next week, we're going to have King Richard. So every Thursday from 2:30 to 4:30 is movie time. But not only on Thursdays, on Wednesdays we have crochet, we have story times, we have, oh my goodness, there's so much that's going on already in the branch. Please stop by the local library. Go online, brooklynlibrary.org, to find more information. And please, if you see something that you would like to have in the library, you know of a program, an idea, please do not hesitate to contact me. Call the branch at 718-230-4086, or you can just go online, as I said, or you can contact me at tjohn@brooklynlibrary.org, and please give me suggestions. Give me suggestions, and I will do my best to make sure those programs or teaching artists come to our libraries. Thank you all for your support, and the community board. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, yes?
Hello, everybody. My name is Milagros Jorge Mando. I do also live on Bay 13, so I can relate to the man that was just talking about everything going on up there. Also, you know, I really would like to speak to you guys after this so that you guys can know what we're going through on Bay 13. But also, as far as with the cars as well, if you go by Poly Prep, all those trucks are definitely... Okay, but they're still there, though.
Well, they come back because it's cheaper to leave them than they know there's only 4 trucks for the whole city.
Yeah, well,
Throw those people away.
this is something that has to be looked into, though. We really need to do a little better.
And we've been involved in it.
Okay, but like you said, also on 86th Street, we see so many of them, yeah. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, we close the public, sanitation? Yeah, no, we're discussing our next item.
Oh, sure. Hi, I thought I recognized you. Sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm from the Department of Sanitation. My name is Ali Gumas. I will be short as well, but I've got 3 main updates. The one, first and foremost, I work on the composting programs and all of their different facets throughout the city. As it relates to Brooklyn CB 11, I wanted to let you know that we are doing our seasonal leaf collection yet again. We have 2 collection days coming up. One is Sunday, November 20th. The next is Sunday, December 4th. You can set out all of your leaf and yard waste on those 2 days for composting. If you are not interested in hoarding your leaves and yard waste like I would, then you can set it out for refuse with your normal trash throughout the week. But if you are interested in composting, those are your 2 days. All information about that is nyc.gov/leaf collection. Yet again, I am giving out these paper, lawn, and leaf bags. I have about 60 now, but I can send more to your office if there is more interest. You can set out your leaves in these bags. You can set them out in large garbage cans. I also have stickers for the tops of those. As long as it's clear to the sanitation workers what you're setting out, you can set it out. If you set them out in plastic bags, I can't guarantee they'll get picked up. That's my only asterisk. The other one is, it's been quite some time since I've spoken at this community board, or somebody from my team has, and we have 4 food scrap drop-off sites in your neighborhood. There's one at the Bensonhurst Green Market, there's 2 on Bay Parkway, and there's 1 on 18th Avenue. I can give you the more specific details. It's quite awful for me to list out addresses and days that they're open, but I have a flyer in the back that I can hand you when I hand you some leaf bags if you're interested in composting throughout the year and not just on those 2 days. And last but not least, I heard one of the council members talking about an electronic waste collection event. Amazing, we also do that. So not next Sunday, Sunday, September 25th, we're gonna be at Floyd Bennett. It's an all hands on deck, all day operation. We collect your e-waste, we collect your automotive waste, your disgusting oils and household cleaners, all of the dangerous stuff you are not supposed to set out on the curb. We are collecting it on that day. There are other opportunities throughout the year, but this is by far our biggest. You can register in advance because sometimes it gets crowded, but we skip the registration if the line is short. So if you want to guarantee at a certain time, you can register beforehand, and if not, just show up and wait patiently in that line, and please don't yell at me. It's a hard day. All right, thank you.
Okay, Assemblyman Abadi. Nice to see. He's alive and well. He hates Zoom. He hates Zoom, by the way.
I did 1 or 2, but I really did miss it, and I think it's important to come here to the meetings to see people. Just tonight, listening to some of the complaints here, just talking to the deputy inspector. I am trying to get a grant for a heavy-duty tow truck so we can take care of some of those trucks around here. The problem is when you give them money, they don't tell you it can be used in your area. And we want it in Brooklyn South, as the deputy inspector said, so that's important. Listening to, National Grid, I try to have some common sense. I don't think some of the things that they want to do with all the electric and no gas is a good thing for this neighborhood right away. It'll cost people a lot of money to change over, and there's no bigger fan than climate. Working for the climate, I want to make that better. We passed some money. Environmental Protection Act this year is on the ballot to get money for climate change. So that's on the ballot. That's an important thing to do. We've had a busy session. You might not have seen me here. Marnie was on Zoom. But really, I want to thank the board, especially Marnie, Bill sometimes, but Marnie for the work she's done in this community, even during the whole pandemic and all, getting things done. When we get some complaints in the office, that are city complaints, either we talk to the council person, or more often we speak to the planning board to try to resolve those problems. So thank you for the community there. It works so help. We're not in session right now, and as I tell people, as Teddy Roosevelt once said, it's a good thing when the New York State legislature isn't in session so they can't do any harm to you. And as a great president, he said that. But we're working hard. It's been a crazy 2 years. The legislature has passed a number of bills. We have a good budget. And I know Susan from Mr. Colton's office was talking about education. Well, we gave the city in the state budget this year more money than it got last year and the year before. So it's something that has to be done. They got the money. Now, I don't know between the mayor and the council, plus the council now wants to do a resolution. But they voted on that to cut the money. I mean, if I did that in Albany, cut the money, and then came back and said I wanted to do a resolution, I don't think that would be too fair to tell the people that, I didn't want that. And they're saying they didn't know. And the sad part is if they didn't know, some of them shouldn't be there in the council if they didn't read the budget. It's an important thing. So that's basically it. My office is there. My staff is there to help. Unfortunately, or maybe unfortunate for me, but very fortunate for people in this audience in Board 11, I'm losing my chief of staff. Irene is here. It's on the board. You're going to lose a board member, but you're going to gain a senator. She's going to be the new state senator from a big part of Board 11. So that's it. So we need you all to come out November 8th. I always give my politics at the end. So thank you again. Now you're entitled to come out and vote for a board member.
There you go.
Thank you.
There we go. And the good news is, Irene, so if you do become the state senator, right, you'll be already prepped with your staff to know how short you have to be. There you go. You'll beat him because you get on Zoom. Okay, so here's the good and the bad. I want to make two announcements. I made it at the beginning. Some people didn't hear it, but we had a promotion in our 62nd precinct. Our captain became a deputy inspector. So it's Deputy Inspector Chen. And we're waiting for Steve to become his detective second grade. So we'll keep on promoting that, Steve. If we say it enough, it'll happen. And also from here, we do have a new pastor here, Father Jose Enriquez, and he has hosted us tonight. So please, Eileen, send him our best for hosting us. And the unfortunate part about it for those listening on YouTube and for the great folks that came out tonight, I'm going to say the following. That's all, folks, because we cannot do any business. There is not a quorum here. So that's the end. Captain will wait. Next week, the 22nd, for us that are here, it's a punish assignment because you're going to be on Zoom next week, because then at least I know I'll have a quorum and I can do business, because we have to dispose of this stuff. So before there's no business. We can't run a meeting. Before next week? Oh.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sonia Valentine. I'm the president of the 62nd Precinct Community Council. On Sunday, we will be having a vigil for 9/11 in front of the 62nd Precinct at 8:30. Am I correct, Inspector? Yes. And then also, the 62nd Precinct is going to be having a hybrid meeting. We're going to be having it on September the 20th, which is Tuesday at 7:30 in person at El Centro, and Zoom information will be sent to you. Also, October 4th, we're having the Puppet Mobile come through the 62nd Precinct in the park. We're having the Neighborhood Advisory Board. 11 surveys will be distributed soon. And also in October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we will be having a breakfast. Stay tuned for the information. And if you want to give me your email address tonight, I will put you on our list. And every time something's going on, you'll be advised of it. Thank you.
Okay, so my apologies to those that came out. I love seeing your face, but before we leave, if I could have a moment of silence, because I'd like to remember those lost at 9/11. So a moment of silence, please. Thank you so much. And for my board members, go beat up everybody. Go beat up everybody that didn't show tonight. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about it next week. Yeah, well, you're coming on again next week.